when we say illegal, what do you mean? We need to, it's a term that we need to discuss and define, because you have people from Ghana who have been in this country with work permits 4 years, 5 years down the line. They go renew it with Home Affairs. I know a lot of them. Out of the list, we have about 30, 40 of them who we have found that they genuinely submitted their documentations for renewal, but the Department of Home Affairs is still working on the process. And when we ask, they tell us that it's a cumbersome process which we have to agree on. These are people that have small businesses, the salon business, the mechanic businesses and others. So it's a close mix of people who are here genuinely trying to make ends meet. And for your information, these are people who also work with South Africans. So we see that there should be a balance when it comes to these things.
So are you going to the Africa Day celebrations in the Northwest tomorrow? Also, just can you give us a ballpark figure of how many Ghanaians are actually in South Africa, whether legal or illegal?
Well, we have close to about 16,000 Ghanaians in this country. Out of the 16,000, we are getting close to 1,000 people who want to go back home. We've registered 810 currently. We continue to register them, and like I indicated, most of them are in this country legally. Others, their papers got expired and it's not been renewed. I think that the discussion should be about how we grow as a people, as a continent. We are not saying that illegal immigration is not a problem. It's a huge problem, but the approach to which we want to solve it is what we are. You've heard the President of the Republic of South Africa speak to that issue and said, stop the xenophobic attack. You've heard the police commissioner saying the same. The Minister of Police has said the same thing. I've heard other top South African politicians who have said the same thing. Let's get to how we'll solve this problem, but let's not take the laws into our own hands.
And then are you going to the Africa Day celebrations tomorrow in the Northwest?
Because of this exercise that we have, I'm sure that it might take a bit of time for us to resolve this matter. But indeed, if I am not going, I'll delegate somebody from the mission to it.
And then the foreign minister, the Ghana foreign minister, was here earlier this week. Is he still in the country? And did he meet with the South African counterpart?
He came on a very private visit. He didn't come to meet any South African actor. He came to meet us so that we could map up what we have to do. That should show you that he's a concerned person. He wants to see whether the Ghanaian people are in good health. The Ghanaian people economically, we've been able to take care of them. He came to give directives as to how he wants us to operate and how he wants us to carry out this evacuation. And I think that it's a plus for us to know that we have a foreign minister who the president had asked to come here specifically just to come and help in this repatriation process.
You've specified. Oh, sorry. Am I jumping someone?
Yeah.
No, you can go, guys, because I've been asking.
We just want to find out, Commissioner, you've spoken about the statements that have been made by various ministers or in the presidency, but we'd like to find out from you, dialogue does take time. What are the tangibles that you'd like to see right now? I mean, what would you like to see happen to the likes of Jacinta Nizwe and those who are leading these protests and also assaulting foreigners in the street? What immediate tangible would you like to see on your behalf of the Ghanaian?
I think the vitriolics have become one too many. I think you've heard people use very unprintable words. The March for March group, the Dula group, calling other leaders, for example, they call our president not to be a serious person. This kind of vitriolics is what we are trying to avoid. We're trying to say that, look, the tangibles, we are not asking for much. We are saying that let's treat each other well. If there's a Ghanaian in this country illegally, there are mechanisms that we use to get those people out. You don't get people walk on the street, people who have no knowledge about immigration activities, going to people's shops, asking them to close down their shops and all of that. The tangibles are that we've seen government with the statement that it issued, but they need to crack the whip. That is the only way that we'll believe that this matter is being solved. I am not giving timelines because I don't know how your government wants to deal with it. But the timelines I can give is that my government back in Ghana believes that let the people that feel vulnerable, that feel dejected, that feel that economically they have gone down, come back home. And that is exactly what we're doing.
You're very concerned with the AU with regards to this matter, but are there any conversations that you're having with the South African government with regards to dealing with this issue?
I think we've had very fruitful meetings with the South African authorities. And let me admit that the South African authorities have been so welcoming. They've been so forthright with us. In fact, this screening that is happening, without them, we wouldn't have gotten it done. So for them, they say that, look, let's solve this immigration problem together. How do we do it? If we are taking close to about 1,000 people out of this country, economically, you're giving another 1,000 breathing space to governments to be able to take care of the South African people. I think if we had these discussions this way, we wouldn't be getting here where people want to take the laws into their own hands.
High Commissioner, just on another note, have you been a victim of any xenophobic violence?
Well, I think it's not my place to say it here. I know that there have been vitriolics thrown at me. There have been people who have wanted me out of the country, saying the way we are approaching things, we are disgracing South Africa. When our minister went to the AU with asking them to table this whole issue about xenophobic, I saw the vitriolics on the system. Everybody was calling us name. But I think that in running away from the problem, that is why we want to go after people and accuse them of things that they are not doing. I am here, I am focused. I believe that we can resolve this matter diplomatically. I believe that realistically we've started the process of resolving these issues. I can tell you that 90% of the Ghanaian people feel unsafe, and that is why we are taking this process.
They feel unsafe, 90%?
Yes, they do feel unsafe.
16,000?
Yes, feel like they don't feel welcome.
Is the 16,000 a correct number?
It's a correct number. The last time we did, that was last month, we did a database collection of all Ghanaians in this country, and we had the 16,000.
The South African government and South Africans are saying this is basically anti-migration protest. They're not labeling it as xenophobia. Are you saying these are xenophobic attacks?
Well, if you look at the statement President Cyril Ramaphosa released, if you look at the statement that the Minister of Police released, go read the statement. It talks about xenophobic attacks. Let's not try to look for friendly words to use. These are xenophobic attacks. These are attacks by people who are not law enforcement on other legitimate foreigners who are in their country. It is xenophobic because they are doing it because they are other black. Have you heard anybody chasing British officials in this country who are illegal? No, they don't do it to any other person. They do it to their own black African brothers and sisters. So this is what we all need to condemn.
And how are people feeling at home? I mean, as citizens feeling at home, Ghanaians feeling at home, with regards to what's happening here?
Everybody has got how they want to take issues. The Ghanaian government keeps on telling them that we don't want retaliatory measures. We don't want anybody taking their own hands in Ghana, doing ABCD just like it's been done in South Africa. Why are we doing this? South Africa has got business interest in Ghana. Ghana has got business interest in South Africa. If we want to allow our people to go through this retaliatory processes, trust me, you will never be able to resolve this matter. Government keeps on speaking to the Ghanaian people back home that take your time, we are resolving the matter. But the people in Ghana are equally not happy about how South African protesters have been able to handle this matter.
Roger, you've alluded to having some of the people that are going to be living illegally in the country. You said illegal immigrants. Can you tell us how many of the people that are leaving did not have the right documentation, as you said?
I think with the first 300 that we have, with almost half of that number of people who don't have documents. When I say don't have documents, we have categorized it to mean that even if you've submitted your document to Home Affairs and you've not received it, it means that you are still not in the South African system as being legal. You don't blame it on the Ghanaian people. You blame it on Home Affairs. You ask them, well, how long will it take to make a decision? I can give you 10 documents of Ghanaians who had 4 years visas, permits to work here. After it's expired, they went to Home Affairs, gave it to Home Affairs. Still today, 3 years down the line, Home Affairs still says that they are adjudicating the matter. That is where the problem is. That is what we have to do. Institutional deficiencies is what we have to solve. And I'm sure that if we solve these problems, we'll move away from, attacking each other on the streets.
And lastly, how much does Ghana invest in South Africa? Please just look at him.
If you ask me, in February just this year, Ghana paid close to 627 million South African rents for foreign direct investment. When you look at South African businesses in Ghana, they sent close to 628 million just in the month of February. Ask yourself, how much did Ghana get out of South Africa? We got 2.9 million. So the trade deficit between Ghana and South Africa is close to 625 million rands per month. Look at how much they make in a year. So if you say that, let's go and fix our economy. So if we decide to take over those businesses as Ghanaians, South Africa loses 626 million rands in a month. Is that what we want? Is that the trade that we want among ourselves? But Ghanaians can only take it to a certain level. And I also want to reiterate on this media that the rhetorics, the insult on leaders. Well, in Ghana, we are brought up to respect the elderly, to respect authority. That is why you don't see us engaging ourselves in name calling, in shaming and all of that. We are ensuring that we follow principles, we follow due processes. And I think that it is something that South Africans should also take seriously. Their civic education, it's so important so that we'll be able to move away from these behaviors.
Thank you.
So guys, welcome back. We have heard what the Ghanaian ambassador to South Africa has said. He's saying the government of Ghana is actually making plans to repatriate Ghanaians back to their home country. Over 16,000 Ghanaians are living currently in South Africa, and about 8,000 of them have come forward for repatriation. They want to go back home, and many of them are small business owners who have contributed one way or the other to the South African economy. Truth be told, right? But they are caught up in this bureaucratic nightmare with renewals delays from Home Affairs. Yet amidst this, the South African government is warning against xenophobia, urging a balanced approach. So the big question here is, how long can this tension last before it escalates further? And what will it mean for both nations? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And how do we balance growth and safety? June 30th is around the corner. Immigrants, stay safe. If you have to exit, which I advise strongly for immigrants to please exit the country. It doesn't matter if you have invested more than 5 million rands in the South African economy, which is like the yardstick for measuring your the value and how much you have put in the economy. It doesn't really matter, your investment. We want you to please stay safe. Credit to everyone whose video was used. Thank you so much for always liking, commenting and sharing our videos. It means a lot to us. It means that what we're doing is highly being appreciated. I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Bye for now.